Hey, what's up guys? Welcome to OBTOYS. So today I'm going to be showing you my custom built Ultimasaurus using Mattel Indominus Rex, some of the old Kenner dinosaurs, and even one Hasbro dinosaur. So what you're going to see at the end of this video is my prized possession of my collection. So stick around for the ultimate Jurassic Park dinosaur. So this is where it all started for me, finding the hatchling of the Ultimasaurus. I thought it was the coolest dinosaur in the world and I wanted to find the big one, but turns out they actually never made it. It was something that they had canceled at the last minute. In fact, these images I'm showing you right now are the only ones that we've ever actually seen of it. I've seen a lot of videos of people talking about how rare these things are, and so I was curious to see how many different images of these I could actually find, and I was able to come up with 7 different variants, and in all my digging I started finding more information about other prototypes, which led me to an individual who had a massive collection and had some prototypes in his possession. I became kind of friends with him, having conversations with him, and the topic came up of the Ultimasaurus, and I asked him if he had one or have ever seen one, and his response was, "Actually, I do, and it's my prized possession." Me being me, I thought, I gotta ask, is it for sale? He said no, it's something that he doesn't plan on selling, he wants to hold on to, but, can't hurt to ask. But then our conversation continued, and he actually told me that he had made a copy of his Ultimasaurus with his 3D printer, so it's an exact replica of it. And he wanted to know if I'd be interested in that, and he told me that it wasn't painted yet, it was just primed. If I'd be interested, he would cut me a good deal. So I made a deal and I actually took it home. Now this next image here, this one, is actually his Ultimasaurus, and he sent me an image of the real thing, which was pretty cool to actually see one. So I was finally the owner of the closest thing to a real Ultimasaurus, and I decided to really take my time with it and paint it using all those photographs that I just showed you. I looked for every little detail to make it perfect. The cool thing about this particular copy of the Ultimasaurus is that this one still has articulation. The arms and legs move, even the jaw moves. And the dino damage as well, which is a really cool feature. Overall, this is just a really cool figure. Okay, so at this point I decided, it just hit me one day and I was like, wait a minute, this thing was supposed to be as big as a T-Rex, and it is definitely not that big. I've seen 1 or 2 people on YouTube make their own Ultimasauruses using other parts from other dinosaurs, but even theirs were always much smaller than I always imagined this thing would be. Now I have to give props and a shout out to Ted Brothers, because they did make a really awesome custom Ultimasaurus. So at this point I'm thinking I'm gonna make one of these, but mine's gonna be closest to the original, and I also wanted to make it the biggest and baddest dinosaur on the block. So this was right when Mattel released the Indominus Rex, and it's by far their best figure that they've made. The size of it, the look, the sculpt, the action, the features, everything is just really, really awesome about this figure. I thought, okay, it's the perfect base. It's already a combination of most of the dinosaurs that I need. The T-Rex and the Velociraptor is the biggest parts that I would have to come up with. Okay, so I had a plan. Now I need to come up with the other parts that I need. And I looked through my bins. I had some figures that were damaged that were always just set aside. I thought I had a Utah Raptor that I could use the claws off the feet for. I thought that'd be perfect. I had a broken Stegosaurus that I thought I could cut off the tail and use the spikes to start molding some of the parts that I needed for the tail. And I had a original Triceratops, so I thought the top part of the head would really aid me in building the skull and horns that I needed for the Ultimasaurus. And then I also had a broken Hasbro figure that I pulled off some of the pieces from the tail and the other horns for additional pieces on the figure. And then, of course, had to fill in the gaps with Milliput. You know, it's like, it's the closest thing I had to frog DNA. So this is where I was about midway through my process of putting things together. As you see, I have the tail put together a little bit and adding some spikes. The cool thing about the Ultimasaurus is there's no spikes directly down the middle of the spine, so I was able to leave the buttons that were on the Indominus Rex. I really wanted to keep the features on it because I thought that was one of the coolest parts of the Indominus Rex. So, and I also thought that this would make my Ultimasaurus stand out from others, having much more functionality to the overall dinosaur. So here we go, my finished result. So I hope you enjoyed my video. Like I said before, this is my favorite item in my entire collection. Now, if you're a true fan of the Jurassic Park toys, you're going to love my next video. It will blow your mind. So subscribe, like this video, share, hit the bell. OBTOYS out.